I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Wednesday, June the 7th, where we saw that late sell-off on the feeder board on Tuesday, just right before it closed there. It was been trading a little bit higher all day and then just pulled the rug out from under it and down hard, all the way down the limit on most all your nearby contracts there. And not a real reason that we can put our finger on to figure out why it happened. It's just that it'd been going up so hard. It was up 11.77 on the August just last week, and then up again over $1 on Monday. But the air just started to get thin up there, and that's the nature of the beast we're in now. We get so high that everybody thinks it can't get any higher, then it drops and goes down so hard that nobody thinks it can do that anymore, and it goes back up. But we just can't seem to stabilize the cattle market, especially on your feeders. But you look at the board there on Tuesday, your live cattle contracts were down 260, and they weren't down the limit, which is a good sign there on your fat futures. But feeder cattle were down hard, down the limit on almost all your contracts nearby here out for the rest of the year. But June spot live cattle was down $1.90. That stretched out the basis between that and last week's established fat cattle market around 137 there. But down 190, ending the day on Tuesday at 130.20. Everybody expected fats to be up again this week. I'm wondering if we were going to break $1.40. Unless we see a quick turnaround here on Wednesday, probably going to have to settle for steady at best, and might back up $1 or $2 here on the fats, but really no idea yet. Fed Cattle Exchange has got a light offering on Wednesday morning. I'm not sure if it's enough there to really give us an idea of what's going to happen on the direct trade on your negotiated feedlot sales. Your real-time index on Beef Market Central late on Tuesday was at 149.64, gaining 32 cents on Monday's close, which was quite a bit higher. And most of your sales, and the guys I talked to in the sales, said that there was a lot of talk about the board closing down the limit on feeders, but you got to remember your feeder contracts just don't pull the weight that the live cattle contracts do. They're not really tied to anything. You got a cash settlement. They don't have near the play in them, not near the open interest that you see on your live cattle contracts, and they're not going to pull anything one way or the other, although it was probably feeder cattle contracts that caused fat futures to go down, but they didn't pull them down the limit like they did on the feeders. But you look at some markets there on Tuesday. In OKC West, they had 2,600 head. Tuesday's their calf day. Your government market report said not a good test last week to tell, but you look on Beef Market Central there, see the market report out of El Reno. Your most popular weights there and the best tested sold $5 to $10 higher, and you would expect that after last week's trade. Talked to some guys in West Plains, Missouri at Ozarks Regional Stockyard. They had about 4,000 head there. Feeders $5 to $6 higher, and calves $3 to $6 higher, and things were still rolling along well after the board settled. One thing is note there in Kingsville, Missouri, Kingsville livestock market, they had 2 loads of 9 to 900 pound steers that bring 150,285 to 153,335, and that was after the board closed, so sure didn't fall out of bed anytime. Before the market closed there, an individual quote out of Huron, South Dakota, Huron Continental Marketing, they had a big load of steers, weighed 872, bring 164. That's your feeder flash for Wednesday.